baby, BTC is over 10K for the second time in 1 week. What does this mean? Are we turning the $10,000 level that is just about to break a 3-year downtrend into a level of support? Finally, could this be the big breakout to 12K, 13K, 16K, and then 20K and beyond? What are you doing with your cryptocurrency and Bitcoin investment? Are you new to the industry and you've been thinking about buying some Bitcoin for some time but have just been a little bit scared because you think you're going to lose all your money? Well, you may never see these levels to buy in again. So I don't mean to spread the FOMO, but in today's video, we're going to be talking about all of that. So stay tuned, viewers. You can still enjoy this one. Use the bilateral. Throughout my life, I've been called by many people Steve Aoki, or been told that I look very similar to Steve Aoki. Now, I don't know the guy personally. I know that he makes like house music, and you know, whilst I am into my sort of drum and bass and a little bit of my psychedelic trance and a little bit of my, you know, house music, wasn't really sure on the name of this channel, but a lot of you are saying that I should change the channel name to Satoshi Aoki. So if you wouldn't mind, just before I get on with the video, just in the comment section below, what do you prefer? Bitcoin zombie investor or Satoshi Aoki? If we can get a good little poll going in the comment section over a few videos, I might just consider a name change. The Bitcoin bulls are here, baby. There is strength in the markets. We have broken above that 10K USD level for Bitcoin 2 times in less than 48 hours, and we are holding that position strong. And I've got a funny feeling we might just hold it for over a week this time, okay? The fundamentals are strong, okay? The technicals are strong when we look at the chart. We've got companies like PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, just formatting their positions firmly within the cryptocurrency space day by day, all trying to outplay each other. We've got government adoption increasing day by day. We've got hedge fund money pouring in day by day. We just had a massive announcement in the week gone by that US banks are now on the whole open and happy to hold their customers' private keys. They know that their customers, or at least a large percentage of their customers, are going to be holding Bitcoin whether they like it or not. So they're thinking, well, we might as well, you know, hold on to their Bitcoin for a price or some kind of weird premium. Like I would ever do that, and you know, I probably wouldn't encourage any of you to do that. Hold your own private keys, or it's not really your Bitcoin, all that stuff, you know. But in all, this is massive bullish sentiment for Bitcoin compared to 2017. In 2017, we had the run up in price to 20K just before I got into the market, but the fundamentals then were just absolutely so weak compared to what they are now, okay? The fundamentals were weak, the technicals were unrealistic. We had such increased price movement over such a short period of time. It is a very different ecosystem in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space this time, and this is really strong and steady growth. It doesn't matter whether you are a new investor to Bitcoin or crypto, or you have got some BTC holding. At the end of the day, you ask yourself the question and say, am I happy with the amount of Bitcoin that I have for the long term? When I say long term, I mean 5 years minimum, okay? Am I happy with how much I have? And if the question is no, you need to ask yourself a serious question. You need to ask yourself, if you've got cash waiting on the side, you know, could this be the last chance that I could be buying Bitcoin around these $10,000 levels? Because I assure you, once it blasts past 20K this time, it's to 100K and beyond. And yeah, of course, you'll still be able to buy Bitcoin, but it's gonna be at a serious premium, and you'll realize that this $10,000 price today was an absolute bargain. So what I would say to you, whilst this is never financial advice, and this is not a financial advice channel, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would seriously consider perhaps stacking some more Satoshis in this time. Worst case scenario, what can happen? The bear case is that we get a second wave of the Rona. If that did happen, it would unfortunately have more of an effect on just the whole investment market as a whole. Okay, so we're talking stocks, commodities, cryptocurrency, they're all gonna take a hit. I don't care what anybody says, okay? Bitcoin is not yet fully detached from the stock and share market. It will be hopefully one day, but it is still a little way off, so everything will take a hit across the board. But even if that does happen, I still don't think Bitcoin would drop below 7,000 US dollars. And yeah, you could probably get in on a bargain, but what are you gonna feel better about? Are you gonna feel better about the fact that you bought at 10K today and then it dropped to 7K and then eventually got to 100K and you just paid a little bit more for that Bitcoin? Or if you didn't buy any today at 10K thinking it would go to 7K, but then instead of going to 7K, it just went straight up to 100K and then you had to buy all your Bitcoin at 100K or not buy any more Bitcoin at all? I know what my decision is and I'm very clear about that. I'm happy to buy Bitcoin at these levels. I don't care. All right, I'm buying Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin at 3K, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12K. Okay, all the way up, all the way down. I've been buying, dollar cost averaging, because at the end of the day, I don't care about these small fluctuations in price. You're never gonna pick the right price to buy Bitcoin. You need to have a strategy, a total amount of BTC, a goal, a target. How much Bitcoin are you happy with to retire? Is it 5 BTC? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 1? It's gonna be different for every single person out there, but you need to work out what that number is and just slowly and reasonably work your way towards that. Could be your last chance, so have a really good think about that, folks. I got a friend that I spoke to the other day. She bought originally around maybe, not much, maybe $50 worth of BTC at probably around 8,000, and the price hit 10,000 for the first time, well, in the last month, a couple days ago. I know it's just hit 10,000 again, and I received a message from her saying that I sold my whole position. Now, I don't know the exact maths, but she probably made about 10 quid. Okay, and that was over a span of maybe 4 to 5 months. Now, I do take a bit of responsibility for this and maybe not explaining it clearly to her, the idea of long-term investing on BTC. Folks, if you've got a small amount of money, and when I say small amount of money, I'm just gonna speak and say objectively that anything under 1,000 US dollars worth of Bitcoin. If you've got anything under 1,000 US dollars worth of Bitcoin, I don't really understand personally the point in trying to day trade that. You know, if you're holding that amount of money, just hold it for the long term, 5 years minimum, okay? Right? You might trade with $1,000, you might make $100 profit and sell out and miss the boat, you know, for the price to jump up. And if your plan is to kind of get in and out of the markets, it's not, you're gonna get burnt. You're gonna get burnt if you don't have that experience in short-term trading or swing trading, which not a lot of people know, and not a lot of people know how to do properly. And even for those that do know how to do it, not a lot of them are successful. So it really is a skill that you do have to learn. Okay, anything under 1,000 US dollars worth of Bitcoin, don't even bother. Right, and you need to have your strategy set out clearly, in my opinion. If you are holding a large amount of Bitcoin or a larger amount of Bitcoin, anything maybe over 1,000 US dollars, have you thought about your strategy? For those of you that haven't thought about your strategy before purchasing that amount of Bitcoin, then I'm not gonna give you a hard time. What I'm gonna say to you is that think of a strategy now. I'm serious. Get out your notebook, get out your iPad, get out a pen and paper and write down the strategy. And what do I mean by strategy? It doesn't have to be too complex, but say to yourself, okay, I bought 5,000 worth of Bitcoin on this day. I'm not gonna touch this for 6 months. I'm not gonna touch this for 5 years. I'm not gonna touch this for 10 years. Work out your strategy. If your strategy is short term, it should only be short term if you're willing to put the time in your education to learn how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrency properly. And that is more than a full-time job. In my opinion, it's not really a side hustle. If you're looking to seriously make money that way, you need to treat it as a full-time job, okay? I know how it goes. I know the basics of technical analysis, and it is not easy. It takes time and effort to learn, just like a university course or anything like that. So if that's what you're gonna do, make sure you spend the time to learn. If you're not in that boat, then you're in it for the long term, okay? And so you've got a long-term strategy. If you've got a long-term strategy, don't worry about these prices, okay? Obviously monitor the price, 10K, yeah, great, 8K, great, 5K, whatever, okay? Yes, I know it can be hard psychologically to see the value of your portfolio go down dramatically. Okay, I saw mine go down, you know, from 20K Bitcoin levels all the way down to 3K Bitcoin levels, and my long-term holding, I held the whole time because that was my strategy, okay? I was not confident at the time like I am now to start making some small trades in the market, okay? As for my strategy personally, I have a select amount of BTC, one BTC in total actually, that I actually run through a Coinbase trading bot, okay? I'll leave a link for that one in the description below, or if you do have any questions about that one, do feel free to shout out, But it basically trades the BTC for me, and it's an amount of BTC which is high risk. I'm prepared to lose that 1 BTC in trading for the purpose of trying to get more BTC. However, the other BTC that I do have, I'm holding that for minimum 5 to 10 years. That is my strategy. It's not too complex, it's not over the top. I'm just holding long term. Simple as. The price doesn't affect me, okay? Stop freaking out about the price. If you work your strategy out, work your emotions around that strategy, and be prepared to accept the losses in your investments when you do make them, then you're gonna be sweet no matter what happens. It's a tough game investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, but you've got to keep your head cool for it and have your strategy in place. To summarize this video, I want to say I'm bullish on Bitcoin even now in the short term. Of course, I've always been bullish on Bitcoin in the long term, but in the short to medium term, I think there is fair enough reason from a technical point of view and a fundamental point of view to say that I am bullish, okay? To really summarize on the other 2 points, make sure you have an investing strategy, not just for Bitcoin and crypto, but for anything, okay? Before you put your money in something, plan out when you do want to take that out and your strategy towards that, so when things do happen in the market, you don't get shocked and sell and buy at the wrong times. That's how people lose their money. If you are new to the space, you're new to cryptocurrency, you're thinking about buying some Bitcoin, you think about accumulating some more, this might just be a time to do it. I know the market is up, but if it continues to rise up, you may never get to buy Bitcoin at these levels again. And what about you guys? What are you doing out there with your Bitcoin? Are you selling at these 10K levels? Are you buying? Are you holding for the long term? Are you someone who likes to trade short term? I would love to know. And if you've got any questions at all, please do leave them in the comment section below at the end of this video, and I will make sure I get back to every single reasonable comment and hear you out. So that's it for this video, guys, from Satoshi Aoki, and have a great day.